Today's review is sponsored by 22andYou, the cheap version of 23andMe. We won't be able to tell you who you're related to, but we can definitely tell you that you're a person.
Watch it, Alan. I'm shooting.
Rabid.
Look, I don't hit nobody with glasses.
Body horror, the perfect genre to make you and your friends uncomfortable. Nobody ever wants something bad to happen to their body, something they cannot control. Body horror as a genre takes that idea, forces it into your face and says, hey, bad things happen to your body. Look at it in all its gross detail. And today, we're looking at a movie directed by the master of body horror, David Cronenberg. I've always liked his 1970s body horror movies. This is when he first started getting into body horror. His first body horror movie ever is Shivers, which I love because it's a very unique zombie movie.
I'm hungry for love. I'm hungry for love!
The Brood is one of my favorite David Cronenberg movies, at least in my top 3. It's a fantastic, creepy kid movie with some of the creepiest kids in the genre. Today we're looking at Rabid, which is my least favorite of Cronenberg's 1970s horror movies, but it's still a very good movie that's well worth your time. This is another unique zombie movie in the zombie genre. The movie begins where any good zombie movie should start, a plastic surgery clinic.
Lloyd! Lloyd! My God, I just saw a motorcycle explode in that field!
Stay with me here. A plastic surgery clinic. In the opening of Rabid, there's this terrible motorcycle accident. Our main character, Rose, is badly burned. She's also losing a lot of blood due to a massive wound on her torso. Her boyfriend was lucky enough to get away with just a broken arm because he was flung from the motorcycle. The doctors at the plastic surgery clinic have no choice but to perform emergency surgery on Rose because there's no way she's going to make it to an actual hospital before bleeding to death.
You haven't seen her.
I don't have to see her. Neutral fuel gas have never been used internally. We could end up with a terminal cancer patient in our hands.
Oh, come on, we can monitor Roxy.
The doctors attempt this experimental surgery method that has not been tried before, which saves her life, but she's in a coma. Her boyfriend, Hart, is discharged from the hospital, while Rose remains there until she hopefully gets out of her coma, which she does 1 month later. But unfortunately for her, she's developed this growth or parasite in her armpit, which needs to drink blood.
Look, this is really weird. Are you sure you know what you're... I think I cut myself with something.
Rose now needs blood in order to survive. She can't eat regular food, only blood, through her armpit. So this movie is sort of a combination between a zombie flick and a vampire flick. Whenever Rose drinks blood, she infects the victim with some kind of virus that's very similar to rabies. The victims become violent and pass the virus off from person to person until it becomes an epidemic. If If you're a fan of 28 Days Later, you'll like Rabid. The movies are very similar. The zombies in both movies are more infected people, getting a virus that turns them into violent killers. The main difference is that in 28 Days Later, the infection is instantaneous. Once someone is bitten, they quickly turn into a rage zombie.
Keep away! Keep away! What's wrong?
In Rabid, it takes a lot longer for someone to become an angry zombie, which adds to the suspense. Because the infection isn't fast-acting, we don't know who's infected until it's too late, and the plague spreads more under the radar. And before anybody says anything, yes, I know these are infected people, not really zombies, but I've said this before, the infected person genre and the zombie genre are two sides of the same coin, so just for the sake of making things easier for me, I'm going to be calling them zombies in this video. Deal with it. Rabid is mostly about the beginning of a zombie outbreak, how the whole thing spreads from a single source, that source being Rose.
I'll show you.
She's immune to this infection. Hell, she doesn't even know that she has this infection, so she has no idea that she's spreading this virus around. All she knows is that she needs to drink blood, which should be a bit of a red flag in her mind, but I guess she doesn't think it's a big deal, which I agree. Drinking human blood is not a big deal, as long as you get permission from the donors. The way she acquires blood is through an appendage in her armpit. She has this hole in her armpit where this thing shoots out to stab people. When it stabs somebody, it both sucks out the blood and injects the virus. This concept is both scary and giggle-inducing. When you look at this appendage, only one thing comes into your mind. And YouTube, hey, listen up, YouTube, what I'm about to show you is not what it looks like. Do not age restrict this video. No, it's not what it looks like. YouTube, don't do it, YouTube. No, knock it off. Don't make me get the rolled up newspaper.
Extraordinary skyline, Maria.
I feel as if I'd never seen it before.
Yep, it looks like a penis. And whenever I see this thing, my inner 10-year-old comes out. I can't help but laugh at this idea. A penis-shaped thing coming out of a woman's armpit so it can stab somebody and take their blood. Quite literally giving someone a little prick to take their blood. Okay, fine, a perfectly normal-sized prick.
And not to that we are what we are. And we're to despise the right. After all that, what are we looking for? A good question.
But as funny as it looks to me, it also adds tension. Now, Rabid isn't a vampire movie, but it does have similar elements to vampire movies. Rose needs to drink blood, so she seduces people so that she can get close to them, just like a vampire.
Dreaming, listening, sharing the silence.
I like the way you talk.
My golden vision. It's not appreciated.
It appeals to me.
True that I'm naive, but that's the way I am, that's all.
Intimacy is a big part of vampire movies. Sensuality, sexuality, seduction, using all these things to lure people in so that they can get the blood they need. Rose pretty much does the same thing, only here she does not bite people on the neck, she sucks through her armpit. that makes the movie so suspenseful. Every time Rose is getting intimate with somebody, you don't know if this weird armpit parasite thing is going to shoot out. Even a simple hug can be suspenseful, because in that hug, the victim is now in the line of fire of this parasite thing waiting to strike. Hugs have never been more terrifying in a movie. Rabid is a unique movie. It takes elements from both zombie movies and vampire movies and mixes them together, but also does something different with both of them, creating a very good entry in the body horror genre. This may not be my favorite David Cronenberg movie, but it's still well worth a watch, especially for zombie and vampire fans, because it combines both genres and does something different with both of them. And with that, let's get to the Grindhouse rankings. We've got a body count of 18, kind of. A lot more people die in this movie, mostly off camera, but this is the body count of people we've met in this film, even if it's for a brief moment. The kills mostly consist of people eventually dying from this new disease, but we also get a few people getting beaten down or ripped apart by rabies zombies. There's some nudity in this flick, mostly female breasts, unless you count the armpit penis thing. This isn't a particularly gory movie, but there's still plenty of bloodshed to go around. Just don't go into it expecting an all-out gore fest. This is a body horror movie at its core, but I like how it takes elements from both vampire movies and zombie flicks, and does something different with both of them. There's a good amount of suspense here. The virus spreads quietly, so we never know when the next infected person is going to go nuts. And I like how the movie focuses on the beginning of the outbreak, that being Rose, who's unaware that she's spreading this disease. I'm giving this a 4.3 out of 5. Not my favorite Cronenberg flick, but it's still a damn good movie. Check it out. As always, I want to thank all of you for continuing to watch and support this channel. Please leave a comment down below. Here's an interesting question for all of you. Let me know a director that you like, and then let me know a movie by them that you don't think is their best work, but you still think is a very good movie. Because when you have a good director, even their weakest film can still be a good film. This is the Maniac, here to remind you that the Grindhouse will never die. Now who wants a hug? Hey, relax, I don't have a rabies-infecting dick in here.